We are lucky this morning to have Italian pasta royalty in studio with us this morning. Viola Buitoni is a member of the famous Buitoni pasta family, and she's out now with a new cookbook called Italy by Ingredient. She joins me in the kitchen now, and I'm so delighted to have you here.
Thank you, Artemide.
So I want to talk about something really quickly. Tell me what we're making.
So today we are making a black rice, an Italian black rice, which we'll be serving with some warm shrimp, an avocado cream, capers, almonds, and a little lemon and some herbs.
So these are really unique ingredients, and you told me before that you want to change the way people think about cooking Italian food.
Yes, when I tell people I have a book, the first thing they ask me is, what about pasta? And there are lots of pasta recipes in the book, but pasta is not one of the ingredients that I actually examine in depth. And also, there is no fresh pasta because this is a book for people who cook every day and they live life the way that we do.
I love that. I love that. All right, well, let's get started. So we've already made the rice because that takes about 20 minutes.
So we're keeping it warm there. And we have what we call, with a French term, a cookbook, which is water with some nice flavors inside. In this case, I've chosen some red onion, a mix of herbs. There is some mint, dill, oregano, some lemon. But really, whatever herb you have that are lying around, just toss them in there.
And they got to be fresh herbs, though.
Fresh herbs, yes, please. And you could even use white wine if you don't have lemon, a dash of vinegar.
If I must.
Doesn't matter. And the onion, I just happen to have red, but if you don't have red, please don't go out and buy it. Just use whatever is not red.
And what does this do? Because the water is infused with all these flavors, it gets into, I'm presuming we're cooking the shrimp in here?
We're going to cook the shrimp in here for a very simple reason, that I want your viewers to actually see what happens.
Oh, I love it. It's like a science experiment.
Yes. So we're going to take the shrimps, put them in the water that up to about 30 seconds ago was boiling. We're going to drop them in here and then close that and just leave them there.
All right.
And then we are actually going to clean our counter a little bit.
Yes.
That's always important for good and tidy work.
Okay.
And then we are going to leave them there while we prepare the rest of the dish. The rest of the dish will be some capers. These capers were in salt, but they could be in vinegar as long as you rinse them well. Be them in salt or vinegar, they need to be
If I buy them in a jar, I need to rinse them?
You do.
Why?
Well, because vinegar is a very strong flavor, right? So it's going to unbalance your dish. So a little bit of a little bit of tang is okay, but you don't want it to be overpowering.
All right.
We have some lemon. And I have chosen cilantro today because it looks really good on the market shelves. But you could use tarragon for that. You could use mint, a little basil.
What about Italian parsley?
Parsley, yes. Parsley seed, yes. And thyme might be a little hard to chew. It's a little hairy.
All right.
I have some almonds here. I'm going to give them a quick chop.
All right.
I'm using the almonds for a bit of crunch.
All right.
To the dish because the rice is cooked fairly tender and the avocado cream, of course, is going to be soft. And our shrimps are going to be super tender because we have used this technique of just letting them cook in the super flavored water. Okay. Right? You can do that also, for example, with calamari, for example, and I do it with a bunch of different fish.
All right.
So we're going to start plating here. Let me get a beautiful plate out.
So when you're cooking something, it is important that you have different textures with each bite, correct?
Yes, I think it is. It makes the food more interesting. It engages the mouth. It wants you to make you want to try more. I love to put nuts in salad, for example. Yes. And if nuts are not a thing, you can do like some crunchy chickpeas, for example.
Oh, okay. Like roast your chickpeas?
Yeah, roasted chickpeas, or sometimes you find them crunchy, like they are actually
already made.
Yeah, they're already made. You can use pumpkin seeds, you can use sunflower seeds. Yeah, something that is a little bit of crunch.
I love learning this stuff because, again, you have been teaching cooking for many years in New York and
San Francisco.
In San Francisco, so you know all about it. All right, I have another question. So let's talk about, well, first of all, I have to ask, I want to look at the other things, but I have a story. So my grandmother from Sicily. Oh, okay. The word on the street is, as she became more Americanized, she started making her pasta or her lasagna with Velveeta. I know. Yeah. I know.
Okay.
But I have to. But you know what? So I have nothing to prove with my family. But you come from this famous pasta family. Is there like that pressure?
Not to use Velveeta, that's definitely a pressure.
Well, there you have it.
But I think what your mother was trying to reconstruct is bechamel, which is the white sauce that in Italy we put in lasagna.
Okay.
And so Velveeta, once it melts, does have that mouthfeel, but of course nowhere near that
The flavor.
Yeah.
All right, well, maybe, see, I didn't know what she was doing.
So she was crafty.
All right, let's talk about, let's start with these delicious tarts. What is this?
That is a butter pastry. It's a layer pastry. It's a puff pastry, all butter, and I put some mozzarella, parmigiano, and a little bit of roasted peppers in there. That takes about 5 minutes to assemble because you can buy good puff pastry.
Perfect.
And
you could make that for dinner every night for the kids. They would love that.
Yes, and you can use other vegetables, by the way. And I roasted my own peppers, but honestly, you can just get the roasted pepper out
In
of
the
a jar and rinse them again because we always want to rinse.
Yes, that is something I've learned from you. A couple of things today. And then you also brought us some anchovies because you said we're Seattle, we know about fish here.
Exactly. Yeah, people are always like anchovies, but you know, I was coming to Seattle, so I knew I had a captive audience. And this is the dessert that I made for you today as a treat.
I'm already diving in.
So there is a honey whipped ricotta with some peaches that I've spent about a night in some sweet wine, and then some amaretto cookies.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
That's good breakfast, right? Lots of calcium.
I would eat this. I mean, I love those cookies. They remind me of my childhood. All right, we have about a minute left.
All right,
let's
so
plate
let's
our
do
meal.
this very quickly. So we're going to put the avocado, a little bit of rice, of course. We're going to dress the rice with some salt.
Molten salt?
A little molten salt, yeah, some flake salts.
When you say black rice, I can just go to the store and find it under that name, or is there a special name?
Yeah, no, this one is called riso venere, which means Venus's rice.
Venus's rice, I like.
But you can find there's something called forbidden rice that is really delicious. So yes, it doesn't have to be Italian. It can be even red.
And so also you leave all the little legs and stuff on the fish.
I do.
That's
and then I'm going to put some almonds here for crunch. A few capers.
The capers. I'll eat capers out of the jar. I'm not even kidding.
And a couple of leaves.
I love it.
And if you want to, because it's always good, a little olive oil.
Just a little olive oil.
That's it. We're done.
All right, well, I have to try this because that's what I do. This is a beautiful plate, by the way.
Thank you.
All right, let me get in there. Get a little piece of... I gotta get around that shrimp.
You're going to have open a shrimp on camera.
I got this. I got this. See, look at that. I just got it right there. Okay.
Yeah.
That is amazing. It's so fresh. It's got so many levels of flavor.
And I also love the temperature. The rice is barely warm, but the shrimp is hot, and the avocado is cold, and I think the contrast is delightful.
That is beautiful.
Thank you.
That is like art in your mouth on a plate. Thank you so much,
Artemide.
Viola. This has been a pleasure cooking with you. Thank you for teaching us so much.
Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you.